The Chinese economy continues to decline, and domestic consumption remains weak. Recently, the well-known Meilongzhen Plaza in Shanghai announced on its WeChat public account that all businesses and tenants, except the U.S. Consulate General in Shanghai, close from August 1st. After 26 years, Meilongzhen Plaza, including the mall, office building, and underground parking lot, will be shut down. According to incomplete statistics, 6,882 stores across China closed in the first half of this year, involving over 100 companies. Meilongzhen Plaza opened on the Nanjing West Road in Shanghai in 1997 and fully launched in 1998, lasting 26 years. It is located in a prime shopping district forming the Meitai-Heng Golden Triangle, with Plaza 66 and CITIC Pacific representing high-end malls in Shanghai. Isetan Department Store, one of the main tenants of Meilongzhen Plaza, had been a favorite among Shanghai residents for 27 years. It closed on June 30, 2024, due to the expiration of its lease. Less than 2 months later, the entire plaza announced its closure. Netizens commented, "Before the mall opens each day, a bunch of people line up to get U.S. visas on the 8th floor. Consumption has downgraded, and the economy has been bad for a while." Mr. Hu from Shanghai told Radio Free Asia that a commercial street in Changsha, New Town, is almost empty. At the famous Golden Crossroad of Shanghai, the intersection of Nanjing Road and Tibet Road, he and his friends found that 2/3 of the restaurant in one building had closed. Several large supermarkets near his home have also shut down. He said, "Nanjing Road in Shanghai is the first commercial street in China and one of the top in Asia. Plaza 66 on Nanjing Road closed in 2022. Huaihai Road, formerly known as Avenue Joffre, used to be very lively. It was considered more upscale than Nanjing Road by both locals and foreigners. Now there are very few people in the malls. It's very quiet." Mr. Hu pointed out that people simply don't have the purchasing power anymore. Most people in China don't have money, and even those in Shanghai who do are cautious about spending due to the sluggish economy. Director of the New Economy Policy Research Center at Zhonghua University, Chen Songxing, who worked in Shanghai for 3 years at Plaza 66, and Lu Jiazui, told Radio Free Asia that Shanghai is already performing the best among top-tier cities. Beijing, Shenzhen, and Guangzhou are facing different issues, and the situation is even worse in second, third, and fourth-tier cities. On July 19th, a Chinese investment website cited statistics from Yilan Business, stating that at least 6,882 stores across China announced closures in the first half of 2024. This involved over 100 companies, including large chains like Walmart, Yonghui Superstores, RT Mart, Hema, as well as leading chain restaurants like Luckin Coffee and Mishe Bingcheng. Among the closed stores, there were 498 supermarkets, 13 department stores, over 6,000 restaurants, and more than 200 other types, including clothing and education. For example, Foodie Supermarket closed all its stores due to operational difficulties, affecting over 100 locations. Yonghui Superstores closed 38 stores, and China Resources shut down 21 stores, including CR Vanguard, Suguo, and BLT. Long-established supermarkets like Walmart, Better Life Nancheng Department Store, and Century Mart mostly lease expirations as the reason for closing. Walmart closed at least 17 stores, including its first stores in Nanjing, Jiangxi, and Nanchong. Better Life Nancheng Department Stores and Ansha stores also closed in the first half of the year, exiting the Liuzhou market. Moreover, the rise of e-commerce and community group buying has significantly impacted store profitability, leading companies to shut down to cut losses. Analysts believe that although lease expiration is the primary reason given for closures, the underlying cause is the immense operational pressure. From January to June 2024, the total retail sales of consumer goods showed a 3% decline in department store sales compared to the same period last year, indicating a downward trend in the overall industry. On April 16th, City Shop, a well-known supermarket in Shanghai, announced it would stop all store operations and exit the market after 29 years in business, with 15 stores at its peak. According to a report by Yicai, the online customer service of City Shop stated that they had to close due to continuous losses. This closure might seem sudden, but it was inevitable. A customer mentioned visiting a City Shop store during the New Year and found it almost empty, indicating trouble back then. The entire commercial sector in Shanghai and across China has been severely hit by 3 years of the pandemic. The last of Taiwanese-owned Pacific Department Store in Shanghai closed in May 2023. Previously, Paris Spring Department Store, a Hong Kong-owned chain with several locations in Shanghai, also closed down its stores one after another. In 2019, Paris Spring's Chongqing and 118 Plaza stores closed, followed by the Hong Kong store in 2020 due to the pandemic. China's sluggish economy and changing consumer habits favor online shopping. This has significantly impacted malls. Many have gone out of business.
Everything here has closed down. Everything. This mall is completely done for. Do you see? Such a big mall and it's all shut down, with only a few stores left. This is right next to Jianghan Road. You might know the place, you might not. But this mall had such a prime location and now it's abandoned. It's heartbreaking to think about. Such a large space in such a good area. Businesses invested so much money here. Wuhan invested so much money. But the stores just aren't doing well. Why aren't people spending money? Do they not have money? Can they not afford to spend, eat, or have fun? Guys, behind me is the largest mall in Yiyang, and it's like a ghost town. Everything has closed down. Look at this. The entire mall has completely shut down. Everything. This mall is near Yiyang's Wanda Plaza, and it's all closed down. It was built really well, but now it's completely closed. All the shops have been transferred. No one is taking over. The structure and the building are quite large, and now it's all closed down. Imagine how much money this must have cost. How much the government must have spent. Everything has failed. Such a large area. It's truly heartbreaking to see. It's all deserted. The entire mall is abandoned, except a few stores. It looks like a ghost town now.
The videos demonstrate that even well-located malls are not immune to closure due to poor economic conditions. A report by the China Department Store Business Association revealed that 70% of surveyed department stores felt foot traffic hadn't returned to pre-pandemic levels, and 65% believed sales hadn't recovered to 2019 levels. Taiwanese financial expert Huang Sichong commented that China's actual consumer power is shrinking, partly due to wage cuts or job insecurity. This leads to persistent weak consumption, directly impacting department stores, which must close underperforming shops. Huang noted that the rapid growth of online stores also competes with physical stores, but the overall economic downturn and decreased consumer spending are the main reasons for widespread store closures. Huang warned that the closure of physical stores could lead to higher unemployment in China. Those who lose their jobs may struggle to find new employment, impacting social stability and employment rates. Huang Sichong analyzed that China's main economic drivers, real estate and exports, are both in continuous decline. Therefore, the economic outlook for China remains grim, and residents' purchasing power will likely continue to decrease. Not only is the commercial sector severely impacted, but the catering industry is also facing significant challenges.
You can see from the dining area behind me, the entire second floor of restaurants has completely shut down. Not a single one has survived. This shows just how intense the competition in the restaurant industry is this year. Now it's July and August, the peak season for dining out, but there's no one here. Where did everyone go? Are they traveling? Why isn't anyone coming out to spend money? It's really strange.
In the video, the entire second-floor dining area of this mall has closed down, with no restaurants able to continue operating. The fierce competition in the restaurant market has made it difficult for many businesses to survive.
Let me show you how bad the restaurant industry is this year. Look, this place just closed down, and it's right at the entrance of a big mall supermarket in the basement level. We get called here almost every other week. The brands here keep changing, like this super fried chicken, which seems to have just opened. Over there, someone just opened a new restaurant with flower baskets at the entrance. There's also a newly opened noodle shop next to it. This year, due to poor overall environment, many companies have laid off employees who then try to start small restaurants. Now, if you search for low-cost startup ideas or ads promising big monthly earnings, you'll see tons of them, claiming that opening a store is easy money. People get lured in, but it's not as good as they imagine. Some manage to last 3 to 6 months, but once the first rent payment is due, they can't sustain it. Some people invest everything they have, even take on debt, to open a store. They have no choice but to hang on. Look at that prime location over there. It just closed down. And here, there are still some stalls for rent, but many are still empty.
This man pointed out that the restaurant industry is facing a very tough year. Even prime locations struggle to attract enough customers. Currently, there are many ads promoting low-cost startups and restaurant investments, claiming that opening a store is an easy way to make money. However, the reality often does not match the advertising. According to data from Tianyan Cha, as of June 30, 2024, 1.35 million new catering-related enterprises were registered in China, while over 1 million were canceled or revoked. In 2023, a total of 1.4 million catering businesses closed. The figure for just the first half of 2024 is close to last year's total. Yilan Business Statistics shows that in the first half of this year, beverage chain Mishe Bingcheng had the most store closures, with over 3,000 stores shutting down in the past 90 days. The coffee and tea industry has entered the survival of the fittest phase, with over 150,000 stores closing in the past year, averaging more than 400 closures per day. High-end dining establishments are also struggling. Restaurants like Osteria, Tiago, Opera Bombana, and Shanghai Yuzhilan have either suspended operations or closed this year. These restaurants had high average prices, ranging from 500 to 2,000 yuan per person. Additionally, Taoyuan Village, once called the Hermes of breakfast, has significantly reduced its number of stores and exited Guangdong province. Reports suggest that high-end dining's decline is due to multiple factors. Consumers are becoming more rational, focusing on value rather than brand or status. Additionally, high-end restaurants have high operating costs, including rent, labor, and ingredients. If customers aren't willing to pay for these added values, the business struggles to stay profitable. American economist Davey Huang noted that the catering industry is one of the most affected sectors during economic downturns because it's not essential for living. The closures of these businesses indicate that people are cutting back on eating out and even grocery shopping. Huang pointed out that the catering industry is labor-intensive with high employment rates. If this industry suffers, it leads to significant job losses. In the first half of the year, there were frequent closures in the education and fitness sectors. Brands like My Gym, Gymboree, Karma Yoga, and 5KM closed over 150 stores, involving amounts exceeding tens of millions of yuan. Some brands have been accused of fraudulent practices before closing. For instance, just before Gymboree closed, they encouraged parents to renew classes. Fuzhou Mimam Children's Swimming and Ebobi held big promotions before shutting down, leaving many consumers with worthless prepaid courses. According to Yilan Business, there are three main reasons for these brands going bankrupt. First, the low barrier entries in the industry result in inconsistent store quality, making it difficult to ensure stable profitability and healthy cash flow. Second, the emergence of professional store closures, combined with a lack of regulatory oversight, leads to frequent instances of companies taking money and running. For example, Yuedong Basketball announced that its closure arrangements would be handled through a hassle-free transfer program, yet Chi-Cha-Cha shows that the company was established in January 2024 with a registered capital of only 50,000 yuan. Most importantly, many of these physical stores use a prepaid consumption model. Generally, prepayment is used to quickly generate funds to support brand expansion or other investments. Once consumers pay in advance, they are more likely to continue using the brand's products or services, increasing loyalty. However, the prepayment model carries significant risks. If a brand faces external shocks and no longer has incoming cash flow, the store is likely to experience a cash flow break. Additionally, due to the lack of effective regulatory mechanisms, it's not uncommon for stores to take the money and disappear. When this happens, consumers have limited options for recourse. If they choose to pursue legal action, the costs in terms of litigation and time often far exceed the amount lost. On June 1st, the well-known chain store Karma Yoga officially announced its permanent closure. Before this sudden announcement, Karma Yoga had long delayed employee salaries and aggressively persuaded users to top up their membership cards at the last moment. According to Chinese media reports, Karma Yoga collected a substantial amount of membership fees before running away, leading consumers to suspect that it was a premeditated escape plan. On June 19th, the Hong Kong newspaper Singtao Daily published a commentary stating that the business environment in mainland China has deteriorated, causing many industries to experience a wave of malicious closures. Many people have encountered sudden closures of institutions they were associated with. The article noted that these professional closers have developed a sophisticated industry chain. This involves changing the legal representative of the company before closing the store and then inducing consumers to accept unfair settlement plans. Even if consumers refuse, the company's legal representatives have already been changed to someone without the ability to repay debts, often gamblers or elderly people from remote areas. The professional closers can then walk away unscathed. However, some legal experts argue that not all merchants who run away with the money are simply fleecing customers. Poor management and cash flow issues are also objective reasons for their actions.